To those of you who have been playing Iron Banner, you've probably been wondering what the difference is between Iron Banner and regular Crucible. Right now, I honestly couldn't tell you, because Iron Banner seems very broken. As far as I've noticed, I've been doing exactly the same amount of damage to people in Iron Banner as I do in Crucible, but I wanted to clear something up. Bungie has stated that level advantages are enabled. This is true and not true. Attack and defense advantages should be enabled, but true level advantage is not enabled. If you saw level advantages enabled in Iron Banner, as if they acted like they did in PvE, a level 22 would not even be able to do damage to a level 28. This is obviously not the case in Iron Banner because it would make it even more unfair than it's supposed to be. However, the problem is that attack and defense values are weighted so lightly in Iron Banner that it's not noticeable at all to players, to the point where it doesn't even feel like the advantage is turned on, like someone forgot to hit the Iron Banner switch over at Bungie HQ. You may see 1 or 2 damage altercations at the most, but that'll probably be due to range. This is something that needs fixing soon, or at the very least the next time Iron Banner rolls around. Iron Banner was supposed to be this unbalanced mess of PvP and legendary and exotic gear, where gear competition can shine. A lot of people feel that it wasn't supposed to be balanced at all, and I would agree. I don't think Iron Banner should be balanced at all, and I think it should be a place for the elite to really test out their gear and their weapons. Obviously, we have the other side of the coin, where those who don't get to play as much might feel shunned from the Iron Banner because their gear isn't as good. For this one, I'm going to say too bad. We obviously see the results of having Iron Banner being balanced for all players. There's no difference at all from regular Crucible. It's supposed to scare off low-level players, or they'll be at risk of being stomped on, and if you don't happen to have the gear to compete, stick to regular Crucible. There's going to be complaints regardless of the balance or unbalance of Iron Banner. If it's balanced, we have complaints that our gear literally has no impact. If it's unbalanced, then complaints from an audience that can't play a lot will run rampant. As for the rewards, namely the legendary gear, this falls into another problem that I'll be discussing extensively soon with Destiny's loot system. In short, the problem is that there's nothing in between legendary and exotic gear, and or that legendary gear is not very difficult to obtain. If they only offer legendary armor and weapons, the experience feels pointless, even though in my opinion you should be playing PvP because it's fun, not because you're going to get loot. There are plenty of other sources that offer legendary gear of the same value. If they offer exotics, then the exotic experience feels cheapened, and you'll have tons of people rolling around with exotics, which are weapons and armor that are supposed to be the absolute pinnacle of Destiny's loot system. Remember when Xur sold the Suros regime, and literally everyone that day in Crucible was rolling around with the Suros? Another problem is that people at the elite level already have some of the best gear in the game, so the rewards are more suited to the people that really shouldn't even be playing in Iron Banner. Like I said, I'll be talking more about Destiny's loot issues in a later video. Finally, the issue of levers. Right now, if you lose a game of Iron Banner, you gain no reputation, which is a pretty hardcore mentality, and I don't really mind it if the game mode was reflected as such. However, I think that the losing team needs to get rep because of the issue of levers. I played for about 2 to 3 hours yesterday in a full group, and within the first minute of nearly every game, people on the opposite team left because they knew they were going against a full group and they didn't want to lose, so it was pointless for them to stay. What needs to happen in the future is one of 3 things: either better matchmaking, putting groups versus groups, a penalty for leaving the game early, or some reputation needs to go to the losing team. All in all, Iron Banner was supposed to be a broken and unbalanced hail of bullets where people with elite gear could play against others and anyone at a lesser level would just be demolished. What it is right now is, well, it's exactly like Crucible. There's seemingly no difference between the two. While I can understand the hesitance of Bungie to maybe make it too unbalanced, right now it's perfectly balanced, and that's not what people want. The unbalance that we desire is definitely something that can be fixed, but the loot issue right now might not be fixable at this time. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. Bungie knows the problems, and hopefully they're working on fixing them right now. I'll see you guys next time.